Hello, all my gorgeous, beautiful souls. I am Lady Stars on Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa. This is the weekly healing messages for November 26th through December 9th. Now, before I go into the weekly healing messages, for everyone here in the United States, I simply want to wish you a happy and blessed Thanksgiving. Please drink or party with your families responsibly because, let's face it, a lot of people party and when they get together for the holidays. So I wish you happy holidays, but please be responsible about them and keep yourself and others safe. With that being said, this is again for November 26th through December 9th. And we're coming into the new moon. The new moon in Sagittarius. While Jupiter is still here, its last few moments of still being in Sagittarius. This is a very powerful energy, but let me just warn you. This is more than just a powerful energy. This is a test. And this whole next month is a test. Let me help you to understand what I mean. They say often that, when it's time to take the test, that all the teachers go silent. We are getting a lot of that, but what's actually not going silent is the darkness. And in some ways, the darkness is supporting the light. But in some, the darkness is also supporting the darkness, obviously. The best way I know how to put it is, it's funny because new moons always start in the darkness. It reminds me, new moons do, of the North Star. The North Star is always brought to my attention when I'm dealing with spirit as hope. A brand new beginning, a brand new hope, a brand new belief, a brand new chance. But more importantly, the North Star also reminds me of planting the seed and what it takes of sowing that seed to bring it into fruition. Now let's look at it. When you plant a seed, you put it in the ground. You're planting a plant. You put it in the ground and you are taking care of it. You are nurturing it. You are watering it. You are making sure that it gets the proper sunlight so that it grows. This is what the new moon is. It starts in the darkness. We are going to be in that darkness in a form for the next month as we go through all of December. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. But what Spirit says, this starting now up until we have that new moon in December, which actually takes place in Cancer on the solar eclipse. This is a test of will. What you will, your free will choice. Spirit says that this time is all about reverence and perseverance. And what will you persevere in? Reverence speaks to us of, what you respect, what you give great respect for. Well, for one, are you respecting yourself? And for two, are you giving respect to those that have earned it? Or have you given respect away to those that really do not deserve it? Are they valuing the respect that you've been giving, as well as are you valuing the respect that you deserve? See, this has to do with some dark truths being brought to light. Spirit more or less even dressed me today with Batman. I mean, let's think about it. This is like the moth to the flame, finding the light in the darkness, the signal that is being put out. Are you able to read it? We have the new moon that is taking place as is coming out of Scorpio with a void, of course, to Sagittarius. This is all about our higher self, with Jupiter still here for this last little bit of time. Jupiter bringing its last bit of, let me make sure that you're getting that higher knowledge, that higher understanding, that higher education. Are you getting that abundance of that knowledge? Let me magnify it one last time. Right before it leaves, but coming off of Scorpio on a double new moon, and Taurus, because Taurus was the full moon. Independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, your inventive nature, recreating and reincarnating self in the image of the soul, the higher self. And what have you not been getting right? This is where the darkness is helping you find its way to the light, to plant the seed. But it's a little tricky right now, and that's, of course, why there's a test of will. See, because Neptune on the 27th of November, the new moon takes place on the 26th. But Neptune on the 27th of November is actually going direct. It's been in retrograde on top of Lilith. That says a lot. But what most people aren't getting is, until Neptune comes out of shadow, which is like in the beginning of January, it's actually at its weakest. Neptune is also considered Poseidon. Neptune is your magic. It's where fantasy smacks you in the face with harsh reality. It's the confusion between illusion and delusion. But with it being also connected with Poseidon, this is speaking to us of our healing waters. It's at a moment of its weakness because it's more or less not moving. And Lilith is on top of it. So let's look at it from this point of view. If we're looking at it from Poseidon creating magic, your waters are calm. Your waters are calm, but out in the distance, you can see where they're crashing on the rocks. You can see where the waters are out of control. But up close, they're calm because there is no movement. Because Neptune is at its weakest. It's also entering its shadow period on top of Lilith. Now see, this ultimately speaks to you of the void. And in a form, you're in Neptune, Poseidon's void until January. This speaks to you of, do you have the guts, the courage, the passion, the action, the aggression to heal that wounded healer inside of you and break the chain? Or do you live for the fight because that's all you got? But for some of us, we keep fighting for the wrong things because, quite honestly, we've lived our life so long understanding that these rules, these ideas, these views are the right way and the only way things can be dealt with. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Are you so inflexible that you will actually continue the chain because you was too stubborn and inflexible to realize it's time to break the chain and make the changes? This is where the void is speaking to you right now. Let me help you also understand. Like I said, Neptune is magic. It speaks to you of nostalgia. But he's just in the void right now. He is the void itself of magic. And Neptune does not have a positive or a negative. Just like Mercury. Mercury is communication, and he doesn't care if it's positive or negative. He is simply communication. Neptune is magic. And he is simply magic, whether it's positive or negative. He's in the void, in the darkness of learning how to recreate what you will fill him with in the next years to come. But it all has to do with what you're planting that seed with right now. And the only one that's really seriously talking to him is Lilith. Now, Lilith can be a positive influence when she's helping you to come into what I always say, your sacral chakra. but this is more along the lines of that solar plexus. This is when you learn to have confidence in yourself, feel good about yourself, believe in yourself, to where you can take that root chakra, the security and the safety, and know that you have confidence in yourself. To illuminate yourself into I am magic. And what will you do with that magic once you illuminate it? Lilith is asking you to remember you were given the gift of your soul fire. You were given the gift of your soul fire for you, not for anybody else. So when will you start having perseverance for yourself and burning that soul fire for you? When will that reverence of respect come in for power for you? And stop continuing the same chain over and over and over again. But then it's tricky because we also have Chiron very close to Lilith. Chiron is the wounded healer in Aries. And it is asking you, while Aries, Chiron and Aries are having a conversation directly across in Scorpio with Mars all month long as we come into December, about your passion, your action, your aggression, in the rules and the responsibilities of the relationships you are part of. Are you consuming energies that are healthy for you in these relationships, and are they just? Do you have self-worth, self-value, self-esteem to persevere in these relationships in healthy ways and bring yourself out into a new identification, a new reincarnation, a new birthing of understanding what and where you can take your life? Or will you continue on the same chain? Because also in Aries, you have Medusa, which is only 30 degrees away from Lilith. Still making it strong. Making Chiron just go, what the fuck? Because Chiron's the wounded healer. Lilith is also ego. She is a feminine activist, making you learn how to create yourself and stand in your power. But she can easily trip into ego. And Eris, which is Medusa, is trouble, toil, strife, and injustice. Chiron wants nothing more than to start a new cycle and put your inner demons to rest. Let me help you understand something Spirit put to me. Do you understand that when you have your skeletons in your closet, your inner demons that you've locked away in the closet, they also talk to each other. And they also create more. But this is where those very dark energies are also coming up and bringing their attention to you just enough to go, are you going to break the chain and burn for you? And allow that soul fire of desire to help you recreate your inner emotional security. Are you going to persevere? Or are we going to push you directly overboard, right back into trouble, toil, strife, and injustice? And then we get to win again by making more trouble, toil, strife, and injustice. Well, you have the chance to overcome ego and listen to Jupiter in this last new moon, where you plant the seeds for your soul perseverance. This energy is taking you directly to that full moon that's going to be in Cancer next month. And then to the solar eclipse that's going to take place in Capricorn. There's your North Node and your South Node on top of loaded energy in Capricorn of what has to change. Will you be I am magic and break the chain? Or will you be your own inner demon that is still imprisoned in your own closet with your own skeletons and demons. This is asking you to burn the brimstone. This is a chance where we burn the void away of all of that that's been created in false truths, false hopes, where we put it to bed. This is asking you what you soulfully yearn for. And do you have the perseverance to go after what you yearn for? Or are you yearning for the trouble, toil, and strife and the injustice? Because you can't stop sinking your teeth into the very idea of the inflexibility of what you've always known. And you know it needs to change, but you're comfortable with what you've always known. And this is the only way that I am capable of doing things. Or will you allow the higher self to burn that brimstone, erase it, and begin anew, bringing us right back to, again, the new moons. Your inner darkness is waking you and shaking you, just enough to ask you if you will continue to own it. Will you continue to own it? Understand that we are finishing, I said just like a few weeks ago, we just finished a 99-year cycle of the unknown soldier was brought forth in that 99 cycle. We are finishing up as we enter this year a 12-year cycle. We are finishing up a 32-year cycle. We are entering the year 2020. 2 plus 2 equals 4. The universe will have its way. Either you get on board with lifting the higher vibration, or the universe will knock you down and force you into it. This comes back to inner emotional security. Solar plexus. I am what I create. So what will you create? Burn the brimstone, because the brimstone is an eraser. And if you actually look it up, erasers are made with sulfur. Sulfur is brimstone. It's time to erase the past. It's time to erase the way things have always been, because they were never quite right. And it's time to reset it and go after what you honestly yearn for. But do you have respect enough for yourself to go after it? And will you persevere? Or, like I said, it's a test. Will you continue the cycle over and over again because you're too inflexible to learn to change? Perseverance, where will you take it, babes? I love you. Free will. Bye, guys.